Hello everyone, my name is Halvey. In this video, I will be explaining the lore behind the bosses in Fire Emblem Thracia 776. Weissman is one of Raydrik's underlings. He has been searching the village of Fianna for Leif. He forced the villagers to talk and they said that Leif is not around at the moment. Weissman still managed to capture Marita and Nana and then handed them over to Raydrik. Weissman is then ordered to wait for Leif to return and then capture him. Bucks is a bandit working for Lifis. He is raiding a village when August asks him to not kill more than necessary. Bucks shrugs him off and is eventually defeated by Leif, and if Bucks is captured and released, he will turn over a new leaf and become a fisherman. Lifis is the leader of the Lifis pirates who terrorize Thracia's eastern coast. He is 25 years old and often tries to win Safi's affection. He grew up in the same village as Perne, where he was bullied by others and was known as a crybaby and bedwetter. He tries to make Safi his wife by promising her that he and his men will go and fight for the people of Tara, though he has no intention of fulfilling his side of the promise. Leif arrives at the island where Lifis' hideout is located, and Lifis is recruited by Leif at Safi's request. Lobos is a general working under Raydrik. He is ordered to hunt for children and has gathered all of the children in the area and locked them in a dungeon and is to wait for Lopter bishops to come and pick them up. Once Leif finds out about this, he is determined to fight and rescue the children. Eisenau is ordered by Raydrik to chase Leif's forces and stop them from reaching the castle Meath where Hannibal is at. However, Eisenau is also ordered to not engage with any of Hannibal's troops. Rumei is a Thracian dragon knight who has been hired by Gomez to help defend Dagdar's mansion on Mount Biodrake. He took on this job because he needed the extra money to support his family. After he is captured by Leif's forces, he promises to support his family with a real job from now on. Gomez the Invincible is an underling of Dagdar that has gone rogue and is trying to kill Dagdar and Tanya. Due to Avel's influence, Dagdar quit banditry and ordered his men to farm for their food. However, farming is difficult in Thracia because of its harsh lands and climate, so Gomez and many others are still starving even after working in the fields all day and night, so Gomez decided to turn on Dagdar so that they can go back to stealing for food. Merlock is a Thracian dragon knight. Travant has declared that Leif's forces are bandits that have been attacking the people of Thracia, so he orders Merlock to kill them. Merlock will either die in battle, or Altena can come in and announce that Leif's forces are not bandits, and Merlock and his troops will retreat. Largo is a general of Frigga, stationed at a fortress at Noel Canyon. He works under Kempf and also has a friendly relationship with Olwen. When Leif's forces assault the fortress, Olwen is here on surveillance and Largo will tell her to return to Jandrum Fortress, to which Olwen complies and promises to come back with reinforcements. Oltoph is a bishop working under Kempf. He has been ordered to kill Leif's forces before they kill him, and the strategy that Kempf advises he use is to fire arrows through holes that were built into the walls. Oltoph is skeptical of the idea but still follows the order anyway. Colho is a bandit with the Dandelion Bandits. However, he does not agree with their leader Perne's ideology. He sends his underlings to attack and raid Leif's forces, as well as the local villages while they're at it, and then he will kill Perne himself. Salem was once a member of the Lopter Church, but he began to question a lot of their actions. This is considered treasonous by the church and is punishable by death, so Salem tried to escape but was caught and attacked and left for dead. Perne rescued him and tended to his injuries. Since then, Salem joined Perne's Dandelion Bandits, and even though his injuries are still healing, he offers to stand guard at their hideout in Dacia Forest and will use his sleep staff to put anyone who comes close to sleep. Perne is 25 years old and is the leader of the Dandelion Bandits who steal from the rich to give back to the poor. Thus, Perne has earned a reputation as a good thief by the local villagers. He was also one of Lifis' childhood bullies. At some point, he captured Tina since she can use the thief and unlock staves. He forces her to help him steal things by putting bugs on her face as a punishment if she refuses him. He also rescued the dancer Lara and sent her away to Munster after realizing her young age. He also considers Trude to be a really good friend. List is a general from Frigga whose forces have the free city of Tara completely surrounded. He is advised by Paulus to hold on his assault until reinforcements arrive. List, however, is very ambitious for a promotion, so he prematurely leads his men to attack Tara, which leads to his undoing. Paulus is a general from Frigga in charge of the attack on Tara. However, he was never in favor of the attack and believes that his hesitation has led to the deaths of many of his men. He continues his assault nonetheless out of a sense of duty. Codda is a bishop from the Lobter Church. His mission is to eliminate the remnants of Leif's forces as they escape from Tara. He is also getting aid from Misha's Pegasus Knight squad. Zyle is a bandit leader who comes across a poor village and decides to capture all of its women to sell them to the slave market and then kill everyone else in the village since there is nothing else of value. Ilios is a knight of Frigga who is in the front lines defending Kempf at the northern line. He was born as a commoner and has worked hard to become a knight. He dreams of climbing the social ladder and becoming a noble as he is very dissatisfied with his current position. Kempf is the general of the 12th Division of the Grand Vale Empire's army. He is a noble of the Frigga family and had his position handed to him. He has a one-sided rivalry with Reinhardt and is very envious of him, which leads him to despise Reinhardt's younger sister Olwen. In Fort Dandrum, Kempf insults Reinhardt right in front of Olwen's face, provoking her into drawing her sword against him. This is seen as treason and he imprisons her, and she was to be later executed, which would make Reinhardt lose his position and would give Kempf immense satisfaction. He then uses Olwen as a hostage to force Fred into fighting against Leif's forces, as well as bait to lure them into a trap of being isolated into a small area surrounded by many attacking ballista. Kempf is forced to retreat from Dandrum, where he eventually ends up guarding the northern line and is ordered by Nicolov to not fight outside of the range of the ballista. He will arrogantly go against these orders when Olwen tells him that he will never surpass Reinhardt, so he leaves his post and is either killed or captured. Conomor is a general of Ulster. He was forced to work with the Empire and attack Leif's forces since Miranda is being held hostage. He was reluctant to do so, but he knows that the Empire would not hesitate to kill Miranda if he betrays them. Rinecock is a member of the Lobter Church in charge of the monastery in the Dark Forest where Miranda is being held captive. He is confident that he can stop Leif's forces with his berserk staff. He was also supposed to watch over Sarah, but couldn't stop her from wandering out into the battlefield. Nicolov is a general working under Gustav and has been charged with defending the main entrance to Leonster Castle. He has many troops aiding him and is confident that he can defend against anything. Amalda is a general of Frigga. Her motivation to become a general was so that she could serve Arvis, as she had high faith in him as emperor. She has been trying her best to rescue as many children from the Empire as she can. She argues with Gustav to stop the child hunts, but to no avail, and just ends up angering him. She is then ordered to defend Leonster Castle's rear gate as punishment. She was torn between doing what is right and continuing to be loyal to her country. She also had the lives of her troops to consider as well. Palman is a general working under Gustav and has been charged with defending the rear gates of Leonster Castle. He is sympathetic to Amalda's distaste of the child hunts, but thinks that one person protesting on their own won't make a difference. Gustav is a Count of Frigga and trusted advisor to Bloom. He rules over Leonster and has been oppressing its people. He engaged in many child hunts even when not ordered to do so. He has taken many women into his custody and killed anyone who opposed him. He has also blackmailed Xavier into becoming his servant in exchange for the safety of Leonster's citizens, and is holding the families of Xavier's lieutenants hostage. Bharat is a general in Frigga's army that has led a 6-month-long assault on Castle Leonster. He has taken over most of the castle and only a small portion remains. He has been waiting for reinforcements from Reinhardt, and once he gets them, he begins a full-scale assault. Zaun is in charge of the Empire's detention center, where captives from all over Thracia are sent to. Zaun had a feeling that Leif's forces would be coming here, so he plans to kill the prisoners before they can be rescued. Cohen is from Veltomer. He is Ida's father and Saias' grandfather. Ida was a general of Veltomer and Arvis's most trusted advisor, and after she died protecting Saias from Manfroy, Cohen took Saias and hid him in an isolated church to protect him from Manfroy. Cohen was a supporter of Arvis's rule, but is also wary of the growing influence of the Lopter Church, so he is devoted to keeping Saias safe so that the Fjalar bloodline can live on. Saias is the illegitimate son of Arvis and Ida, making him a half-brother to Julius and Julia. He inherited major Fjalar blood and minor Loptos blood from his father and can wield the Valflame tome. Because of his holy blood, he was seen as a threat to the Lopter Church by Manfroy, so he was raised in secrecy and grew up to be a master tactician, which earned him a high position in the court of Veltomer, which kept him safe from Manfroy for the time being. He saved Marita by removing the curse of the Shadow Sword from her, and tells her that if she wants to become a true sword fighter, then she must learn to love any blade that she comes across. Saias then appears as an enemy before Leif's forces twice. Both times, his presence alone is enough to greatly boost the morale and fighting abilities of his allies. In the first one, he is called away by Ishtar to help Julius recover from a high fever. In the last one, he just retreats on his own or is forced to by Cohen. He then will help out Leif by giving him the Bragi sword, which he got from Sed. Reinhardt is the leader of the Gelben Ritter in Frigga's army and has been Ishtar's personal guardian since childhood. He is also Olwen's older brother. He is a formidable and admired knight and is said to be the second coming of the Crusader Thrud. Julius will become jealous of how close Reinhardt is to Ishtar and will threaten to kill him, so Ishtar tells Reinhardt that she no longer needs him as she has Julius to protect her. Reinhardt then takes to the field in the battle at River Thracia, where he is certain that Olwen is being manipulated into siding with Leif's liberation army. However, Saias will suggest to Reinhardt that Olwen is a grown woman who has found her own way of life and that he should speak to her given the chance. So he does and finds out that Olwen has made her own decision to rescue the kidnapped children from the clutches of the Lopter Church. Reinhardt doesn't want to lose his only sister, but sees her resolve and declares the two of them as enemies. He gives her one last gift, the Blessed Sword, his most prized sword that was given to him by Ishtar, and says that should they meet on the battlefield again, he will show her no mercy. Alphand is a Lopter priest that has been ordered by Raydrik to defend Munster's castle gates. During the battle, he misplaced his poison spellbook, but his soldiers are able to find it. Galzus is Prince of House Ribot in Isaac and is a cousin to Shannon. Marita is his daughter, and both of them carry Major Ode Holy Blood. During the Grandvale Isaac War, Galzus fled Ribot with Marita when Isaac's king Mananan attacked Ribot in retribution for Ribot's attack on Donna. Galzus and Marita traveled together for some time, but were separated near Connaught when Galzus took his eyes off Marita for just a few seconds and she was taken by a slave trader. He tried looking for her but eventually gave up. Marita was saved by Avel, who raised her as her own daughter. Galzus became a mercenary and entered Raydrik's service as a guard for Munster Castle, where he secretly entrusted Marita into Saias' hands after she was possessed by the Shadow Sword. When Leif leads his assault on Castle Munster, Marita will realize that Galzus is her father and convinces him to join Leif's army and help save Avel. After Avel is rescued, Galzus will entrust Marita to her and promises to visit them in Fianna once a year. Raydrik was formerly a noble and general in the service of King Carl of Connaught. Following the deaths of Quan and Ethlin at the hands of Tervant, Thracia began an invasion of the Munster district. King Kempf of Leonster rallied his own troops, as well as some from Ulster, Connaught, and Munster, and clashed with the forces of Thracia near the River Thracia. During this battle, Raydrik betrayed Leonster to Thracia, resulting in King Kempf's death, and Thracia continues its assault and quickly takes over Leonster Castle, and for a short time, Thracia had control over the Munster district. Raydrik then betrayed Thracia to the Grandvale Empire, allowing them them to take control of the Munster district from Thracia. Raydrik then became known as the twofold traitor. Thracia was forced to retreat and was left largely powerless. The Munster district came under the rule of the Frigga family and was renamed the North Kingdom of Thracia, and Bloom was instated as its king. As a reward for his role in Leonster's downfall, Raydrik was appointed the Duke of Munster by Bloom. Raydrik then allowed for Veld and Lopturian bishops to start child hunts in the region and was granted the Lopter sword by Veld. Raydrik simply had a lust for power and control and was terrified of being abandoned by his allies, as he would be nothing without the strength of others. Ultimately, Leif leads his forces to attack Munster Castle, where Raydrik pleads Veld for one final chance to eliminate the Liberation Army. He is defeated and his body disappears into thin air. 6 of the Deadlords are created to defend Veld in the final battle. They each guard one of 6 seals, and the power of these seals forms a force field around Veld's chamber. Veld remade Raydrik into one of the Deadlords, while the other 5 were created by Manfroy. Avel, Galzus, Sarah, Lifis, and Dagdar could all be remade into the other 5. Veld is a bishop of the Lopter Church. He works directly under Manfroy and supports him by carrying out the will of the church. He is in control of the church's activities in the Munster district and wields the Petrify spell, which turns its victims to stone. He is the one responsible for the Eid massacre when he informed Travant of Quan and Ethlin's movements as they traveled through the Eid desert. Then Quan and Ethlin were murdered by Travant, and northern and southern Thracia turned against each other, all according to Veld's plan, which all led to the Empire gaining control over the Munster district, where Veld is mainly concerned with rounding up all of the children in all of the areas and sending them off to Valhalla, fulfilling the wishes of Manfroy and Julius. However, many nobles in Frigga's occupation forces are hesitant and voicing their concerns, which is hindering Veld's efficiency with the child hunts, so he actually praises Leif for getting rid of a lot of Frigga's forces. Ultimately, Veld is defeated through the efforts of Leif, so that the people of North Thracia can be freed from the grip of the Lopter Church. And with all that said, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.